Now, President Biden has committed all federal resources to the investigation, and he described the attack as, quote, despicable. He addressed the nation right after the attack.
To all the families of those who were killed, to all those who were injured, to all the people of New Orleans who are grieving today, I want you to know I grieve with you. Our nation grieves with you. We're going to stand with you as you mourn and as you heal in the weeks to come.
And we want to bring in CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. He's got the latest from the White House. Scott, thanks for joining us. What are the latest details we're hearing from the president?
Yeah, the president was the one who put some connective tissue between the attack in New Orleans and the attack in Las Vegas, saying during his Camp David news conference that it's under investigation whether there is a connection. The president returns here to the White House from Camp David midday and has two public events in the afternoon, which gives us an opportunity to try to press him for the latest on any connections found by federal investigators, but also to press him about what he meant and what he was referencing when he said last night that there were social media posts from the attacker in New Orleans that showed ties to ISIS. Those social media posts have not surfaced publicly, so we're interested in finding out what's behind those. The president is speaking on this investigation as the FBI, the Federal Bureau, is lead on the terrorism probe in New Orleans and has raised the possibility that there are accomplices who've yet to be caught. The FBI, of course, Michael, also playing a prominent role in the investigation in Nevada.
I also want to ask about the House Homeland Security Committee, and Louisiana officials are meeting this morning. What do we expect out of that meeting?
Well, there are Louisiana members of Congress who'd like to get some sense as to the ongoing nature of the threat in New Orleans and throughout that region, because there have been references to accomplices, to others being involved, and others have not been arrested. So there are going to be questions asked about whether it is safe to resume normal operations in the French Quarter, about having the Sugar Bowl, not in the business district, but elsewhere in New Orleans. What's more, there are always the broader questions, Michael, when you have these federal Homeland Security and FBI officials. Do you need more resources for this investigation? Does the federal government need to provide Louisiana with more resources to better ensure and steel the security of New Orleans? These are things that come up in federal briefings, and we expect not only the Homeland Security officials, but the Department of Justice to be pressed on all those matters.
Now, Scott, I want to ask about this. Senator John Kennedy was pretty openly critical about the transparency in the investigation. Talk about what he said in the reaction to that.
It wasn't just the striking nature of what he said, but the setting in which he said it. John Kennedy says that he wants the FBI to be transparent and honest with the American people about their investigation in New Orleans, and that he will apply pressure if he thinks they are not. There has been some distrust sown into the FBI by Donald Trump, by Trump's allies in Washington, by Trump on the campaign trail, giving that type of cynicism a platform at a news conference about a mass attack, an historic attack in New Orleans, raised the profile of the issue, but also raised concern among the FBI surrogates here, by Democrats, that was questionable timing by Senator Kennedy to bring up those questions in the wake of a tragedy. We'll continue to monitor what he says on the issue, what Trump says on the issue at the FBI briefings continue through the day.
All right, Scott MacFarlane at the White House, thank you.